Hey, what's up everybody? Isaac here with another New World video, and today's video is the perfect example why you need to be running as a tank in dungeons. It takes a lot of work, yeah, sure, you have to know the dungeons as good or better than anybody else, but right now it can be a struggle just to get your runs in, just because there are not enough tanks. I've tried running a few as a DPS, and I can literally wait hours and hours before getting a lobby. But right now, you could see there was several lobbies up. None of them had tanks. So I go and start up my own lobby as a tank. And, well, just like that, it doesn't take very long for me to find people at all. Within 5 minutes, we had a group ready to rock. And I don't always get super picky about my runs, but getting down to the last few, so trying to make sure we're getting those gold runs to finish off, my last few runs for the week. So you can see in my description, I let people know that I'm looking for people that are serious about getting gold, people that are going to follow comms, and link your gear. So basically, what I'm looking for in people's gear is making sure that each DPS has at least one strong DPS weapon and one good or at least decent crowd control weapon. So as long as every DPS has one very strong DPS weapon and we have at least two really good crowd control weapons, we shall be good to go. And the number one thing I'm looking for is a spear that has a skewer perk, and worst case scenario, if they don't have it, I'll run it myself. But did manage to find one DPS that specifically had that, so just sitting here going through my gear, looking what I can delete, make some room in my backpack because it fills up pretty fast when you're doing these mutations. So you want to get good loot, you want to get good shards, you definitely want to try and max out your runs for each week. But right now, as things would have it, it can be tough to get your runs in just because there are not enough tanks. So as people start sending me their stuff, I'm looking for, are they a light DPS? Do they have ward? And do they have at least one really strong DPS weapon? One thing you can get away with if you have a good group, you can get away with a healer that does not have ward. But you gotta make sure that your whole group is, on page and ready to peel for your healer. So just kind of sitting here, organizing my backpack, and just waiting for those requests to come in. I'm not even bothering to look at the group finder because I did specifically ask people to link their gear. So don't even need to look at the group finder. If somebody applies and they don't link their gear, I'm not going to bother this time. I don't always do it this way. Sometimes I'll run some casual runs and just grab whoever applies. A lot of times you will not get a gold run when you run a group like that, but I'm alright with, I definitely ran quite a few runs this week with people that this was their first week running an M10. And, well, it was hard to get gold with a lot of those groups, but at least we got them through their M10s and they got some loot out of the deal. And we still finished. We got the loot. Get 4,000 to 5,000 shards if you get bronze or silver. But, like I said, as we're running down to the nitty gritty, trying to be a little more picky, we're going to go for those gold runs, just for the fun of it. I did get a little bit low on shards, and you do get a few extra shards when you get those gold runs, so it's helpful in that sense as well. So, moving right along, and you can see that our lobby is already filling up. Got all of our DPS, we just need one more healer. That's the other thing, that there tends to be somewhat of a lack of his healers, but not nearly to the point of tanks. No problem finding a healer for this run, or for most runs for that case. We did get one healer that joined and then left, but we had another healer that was applied after, and they were a super strong healer, so we were good to go. No problem that the one backed out. We had another one that was wanting to go right in the pocket anyways, so you can see just like that, we're at, about 5 minutes in. This healer takes off just as we're about to start. And, perfect, we'll just grab the next healer. So, I just double checking, making sure he sent me a link of some stuff. Yeah, he's got ward. We're good to go. Like I said, you can get by with a healer that's not warded, as long as they're a decent healer and you got a decent group. But prefer them to still have ward. You know, most of us have made pretty large investments in order to run these M10s, so it's nice when everyone else makes the investment as well into getting the gear. So, just like that, we are ready to go. Roughly 5 minutes once I'm a tank and I let people know I'm serious about it. Just like that, we fill up right away while you have a bunch of other groups still waiting. So, definitely a very good reason to learn tanking. Also, you can have a lot more control over your runs. You can have a lot more control over making sure you're getting those gold runs. Once you get the run down well, it does take some practice, it takes some learning. But once you get the runs down well, you can kind of help control the tempo of the run. And sure, you're still going to get DPS that are going to int their way, but if you kind of make it clear when you're making the group in the message that, hey, we're looking for serious people, it does tend to weed out a lot of the less serious people. So there you go. 2 excellent reasons why you should be tanking. 1, you can get groups a lot faster, a lot easier to get your 25 runs in for the week, and also a lot better chance of getting those gold runs. So switched over to my Lost gear. Still had my Angry Earth gear on from the last run. My Lost gear is actually kind of poor, so this isn't going to be a walkthrough or anything. Just kind of going to show. Just wanted to show you this concept of how when I run as a tank, I can get runs non-stop, and it might even get to the point of being annoying. You get people begging you to come do runs with you, and you can't blame them because they want to get their runs in, but there's just not enough tanks. So there you have it. Become a tank and you're going to have no problem getting your runs in every week. It's going to take some practice. You're kind of the most important person in the group, in the run, and so yeah, you're gonna take some practice. Most people don't want to tank because there's responsibility that goes along with it, so they don't want that responsibility. But you can see right off at the start, before we get going, I'm kind of going over the comms, letting people know just some certain important parts of the run, how I plan to do it. Just get that stuff out of the way right away. Sure, I could have skipped that and we could have taken off and we could be a couple of minutes into the run. But sometimes it helps save some time and miscommunication along the way, save some wipes, makes things go smoother. So a lot of times it'll save time in the long run and help make sure you get that nice, easy gold run. So just gonna skip ahead to the final boss here. Not going to play this one through. I'll probably do a walkthrough of this dungeon in a little bit. I'll probably do another video, but this one we're just gonna fast forward and cut to the final part of the boss. So I'm going to give you one little bonus clip on how to make Nerdiad really easy. We start off, we go ahead, we hit her with our AoE taunt. We hit her with Shield Rush, which adds weaken. We hit her with our Skewer, which adds a lot more weaken. And then we hit her with our Perforate, which adds even more weaken. I'm not sure what cap is, but I've heard it's around 70. And just between those three skills, we will have her up to 70 plus on the weekend. So you add that much weekend to her, it makes this fight a lot easier. Sometimes people will struggle with this fight, but when you add all kinds of weekend, well, it makes this fight a whole lot easier. So there you have it. We are just finishing off the fight, and just like that, we got our nice loot, we got our shards, and if you want to maximize your loot and shards, you need to be running 25 of these a week. And well, when you're a tank, it's pretty easy to get your runs in for the week. Whereas as a DPS, not always the case. Sometimes you can be waiting hours upon hours just to find a match. But as a tank, see, in a matter of 5 minutes, we had a group together, ready to go. Rocked a nice easy gold, got our shards, and we got our nice big old pile of loot. So hope you enjoyed it, and if you need any tank guides, I got a few of them out there. Gonna have to do some updating, maybe make another tank guide in the current meta, as things have changed a little bit, but we'll catch you on the next one.